If you've ever flown out of Sacramento, you've probably had ice out of one of these 4 machines. So today I'm going to be running you through the process of the cleaning and sanitizing that I do for these 2,000 plus pound Hoshizaki Ice Machines. I did those 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm going to be doing these 2 today. Now, what I'm going to be doing is taking them all apart, disassembling the machines, cleaning and sanitizing them, putting them back together, and yeah, just running through that process. Here's what we look like all taken apart. I didn't take these side panels off, not super necessary, but I have access to my evaporator, the water floats and water pumps and all that good stuff. So I'm going to show you real quick what I do initially. First thing I'm going to do, stick this over to ice to ensure, although this machine was off, I'm going to ensure all the ice is off by letting it run through its initial harvest cycle. As soon as the harvest is, I don't know, a minute or 2 into it, I'll turn the machine off, put it over here to wash, turn the cleaning switch to the up position so water not only runs on the outside of the evaporators, it also runs down the center. And then I'm going to be grabbing that Hoshizaki scale away and adding it directly into the trough. All right, harvest is running, so I'm going to turn this off. Water flow down the center of my evaporators. Looks pretty good, even all the way to the back, but one thing that I will be noting is left side pressure gauge is water supply pressure, and then the right side one is water pressure going to the ice machines, which is down close to 0 in the red, which just means that those water filters need to get changed to allow more water to flow. I'm going to go from off to wash, turn my clean switch, take my descaler, and it's going directly into the trough. I'm gonna let that run for 15 minutes or so. I may have said earlier that these machines were 2,000 pound machines. They're actually 2,600 pound machines. The only reason why I mention that is because the manual calls for something close to 40 ounces of descaler. I'm actually going with 16 ounces a piece, which is close to half of what they ask for. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I clean them twice as often, or excuse me, we clean them twice as often, the company that I'm with. And the other reason is there's not a lot of scale buildup. So running close to 40 ounces of descaler, not super necessary. 16 is good enough. 15 minutes has gone by. I'm going to go ahead and swap these things from wash back to ice. So it goes through another initial harvest, try to flush out some of that descaler, because I have to stick my hand down inside to remove a plug. Some of that descaler gets on your hands, gets on your arm, it kind of burns. While I was waiting, I also went and ran a water hose, because these things are so big, you might as well use a water hose. A little pump sprayer is not gonna cut it. You need something to just get after it. When you swap these things from wash to off and then to ice, you may run into a situation where nothing happens. That's because this guy has a little micro switch hidden back there that if this isn't turned, the machine won't turn on. Also, if this is loose, sometimes that'll cause the machine not to turn on, but just so you know, if it works in wash, doesn't work in ice, this is something that you should look at, specifically that micro switch, just making sure that it's closed. So going through another initial harvest cycle just to wash out some of that descaler, and then my plug is down inside that hole, and I'll show you what it looks like from the underneath side. So if you come around here, it's actually that plug right there. That's what we're gonna be pulling out. Be careful not to drop it, lose it inside the ice, which I'll also be washing out all of this ice. A quick aside, if you are in Northern California and you need ice machine service, reach out to Sac Ice, the ice machine specialist here in the Sacramento area. We would love to help you out with your ice machine needs, whether it's install, service repair, a general cleaning. We also do ice machine rentals for a low monthly fee. We will bring an ice machine to you, install it, take care of it, clean it. Anytime it goes down, we'll be there within 24 hours to take care of you. Sac Ice, sacice.com. Click the link, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. I'm gonna be disassembling the machine. I'm gonna just start by removing as much of these hose clamps as possible, taking out the tubes, taking out all these water curtains. One thing that's super important is this area down here, I like to do that last. So I wash from the top down. If you take out this hose here, take out this rubber boot, then as you're washing the top, water just dumps out here. It makes a big nasty mess. So what you want to do, leave this stuff attached, do that last. Take out the spray tubes, the water diverters, all these curtains. Once you get pretty much everything in the trough removed, including this tee and these hoses, we're gonna wash this area, let it go through that drain hose down into the bin. That'll help melt out some of the ice that's in the bin. Once this area is done, then I'm gonna disassemble this area, clean this area specifically, wipe out the compressor compartment, just get all the dust and a little bit of debris that's in there out. And then I'm gonna wash the parts, put the parts back in, run sanitizer. It's pretty simple to remove all this stuff. The main thing you wanna just focus on is remembering how it comes apart. That way, when you go to put it back in, you can put it back in correctly. These spray tubes are a pain because they're so big and there's so many little connections. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all taken apart, at least this area. Here's what we look like all taken apart. Water diverters, spray tubes, all the hoses, water curtains, cube guides, the cover for the overflow, forgot what the name of this hose is. All this stuff's taken out. Part of the reason why we're gonna be cleaning this, not only does this stuff right here get dirty, we wanna flush out the broken weld particles. Now would be a good time to check your evaporator for separation. We're gonna check top and bottom. These ones all look really good so far, no separation. You can also wiggle the elbows, see if these move. It all looks really good. Came up top to check the evaporators up here. Here's an example of what separation would look like. This is obviously not that bad. It's not all the way from top to bottom, but this is how it starts. The top weld is broken. Good thing is that the water diverter kind of pinches these closed so that the cold copper line makes contact with the stainless steel face of the evaporator. The rest of these look really good, so I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna document this, or excuse me, I am gonna document this, but I'm not gonna recommend that that it needs to be replaced because it's not in that bad a shape. So, starting from the top, working to the bottom, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rinse everything off. And then I'm gonna go through with my coil brush, with my evaporator brush, and I'm gonna go up and down every single one of these channels to break up all the calcium deposits and make sure that when the ice is ready to harvest, it slips and slides right off of the evaporator. I'm gonna do each side, every single one of them. It's gonna take a while, but it's gotta be done. All scrubbed out, rinsed out, scrub these walls, scrub these channels, rinsed everything down, did my best to flush out all those broken weld particles and get them to go that way into the little recessed area, and then it came out the drain, and then down in the storage bin, and then down that drain. So now I'm gonna go scrub out the bottom of the water trough and then focus on the water pump water flow area. For this side, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be taking, first off, my rag, or excuse me, scrub pad, and I'm gonna go through everywhere I can and just scrub. Let's scrub these areas here, all around, as well as up here. When I'm done scrubbing that area, I'll get in here, try to scrub out the bottom of the water trough, get all that discoloration out of there. I'll rinse it out, and then I'll go through with this brush to get really good inside the corners and around some of these areas where the rag is just not gonna work. And I'm gonna rinse it again, and then I'm gonna sanitize everything, and then we're gonna swap over to this area. Moving right along, we're all done. Water trough, evaporators, everything up is complete. Now we're gonna be focusing on disassembling this area. I'm just gonna take everything out, and then we'll see what this looks like, scrub it, sanitize it, and then we'll swap over and start cleaning out those parts, and we'll put them back one by one and see what it looks like when we're all done. Here's why we do this last. Water is pouring out of that hole, running down. If I were to spray this water hose, it would be even worse, possibly even come out of this hole. So that's why I left this all connected. And I'm gonna get to scrubbing and rinsing this area, clearing out that hole so that water will actually drain down it. Here's what we look like all cleaned out. So I wiped out this area. This is scrubbed out, clean, scrubbed, clean. Everything's done. Now I need to tackle that pile. Before I do that, I'm just gonna have some sanitizer and spray bottle, spray everything, and then just take a piece, one at a time, clean it in that itty bitty tiny sink or right here on the floor using this water hose. And then I'm gonna piece it back together. I did clean out the inside of this. The little vent tubes here, they look crusty, but it's stained and I can't get it out. As well as some of this area, if you look at it and say, oh, you didn't do a very good job. I scrubbed it, and that's the best it's gonna get. Sometimes the white plastic just gets stained and there's nothing you can do about it. These plastic pieces where it's broken, we've been telling these guys that they need to approve us to come out here and dry this out really well. And there's a certain type of like plastic paste type stuff that Hoshizaki has that you use to fill this all in. And we just haven't had the approval to come out and do that, so we haven't done it yet. We are all put back together. I'll show you what this looks like. Everything put back where it belongs, all cleaned. Everything's been sprayed with sanitizer. Spray tubes are all in. Still have to clean the covers one by one, sanitize them, put them back on here, but I'll do that in just a minute. What I'm gonna do, click this guy to ice so that the water trough fills up with water. As soon as there's enough water in there for the water to circulate, I'll swap it over to wash. I'm gonna add 2 ounces of Ice Machine sanitizer directly in the bin, let it run for 10 minutes, and then flush it out. A couple notes, this hose looks dirty, but it's stained. You can buy new lengths of hose from Hoshizaki. I just don't currently have any, and it's, like I said, it's stained. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna hurt anybody. It's not actually like moldy or disgusting or whatever. It's just a stained hose. Just swapped over to wash, turned my clean switch so that water runs down the middle of the evaporators and I just added my 2 ounces of sanitizer. We're gonna let that run for 10 minutes, like I said, and then I'm gonna flush it out. And this one is completely done. I'm just waiting to turn it on. I've cleared out the storage bin, but I'm not gonna fire this one up yet because everything that I just did for this machine, I now have to do for that machine, and it's gonna be another 4 hours or so. And I don't want the dirty water from the unclean machine to get on the clean ice from the clean machine. So we're gonna let this guy sit while I clean machine number 2 and fire them both up at the same time, and then see if it drops ice or not. Sorry I wasn't able to catch picture or video of the machine dropping ice. I was kind of in a rush to get out of there, but long story short, everything went well. I got back from lunch. The machine that I was originally working on, that I was kind of going through the process with, the machine was done. I had put the insulated covers back on. I just needed to throw the top panel on and the front panel. But I did that, turned it on, let it make ice. I didn't show you, but I actually went outside, cleaned the condensers, but they were up pretty high on a platform. So I had to climb up there, and then I ended up just brushing them and using a water hose and blowing them out. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you ever run across one of those or 4 of those Hoshizaki 2,600 pound ice machines, it'll be kind of helpful to see how to take them apart, how to clean them, how to put them back together. Until next time, check out the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, go to Patreon, help us out over there, like and subscribe. Channel member, if you want to be a channel member, I don't know. There's supposed to be like perks and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not really doing it, but if you want to help out, cool. If not, cool. We'll see you on the next video.